What's going on, everyone? Desktops Gaming here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a guest, my little brother Blake here.
Hello.
You see we have a line of parts in front of us. That means we got a build to do today. But this one's going to be a little different since this will be his first build he'll ever put together with, of course, my instruction. So we'll be going over how to set a new PC up today. Let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Like I said in the intro, this will be Blake's first PC build. He's been a PC gamer for years. Like I said, I built him a rig. How long ago was that? Like 5 years ago? 6 years ago now?
Going on 5, I think.
It's a 7th gen Intel rig. I believe you still have, right? 7700K?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, he's going to be helping me out with this today since he's never really built a rig before. Like I said, I built his, so I wanted for him to get an idea of actually how you go into building a new system. So today we'll be going over a couple parts. The main reason I want to do that is to thank one of the sponsors for this build, which is TeamGroup. They provided some of their T4 Extreme ARGB DR4 memory here in a nice white, as well as one of their Pcie Gen4 M.2 drives. So definitely got to thank TeamGroup for that. Like I said, this will be one of the main pieces going in today. We'll run down the rest of the parts. We have some parts here from Deepcool as well. One of their new PSUs on the market. This one is an 850 watts. This is a fully modular gold rated unit. We have one of their Castle 240s. You guys have seen this in a few different builds we've done. This one will be in black. For the main components today, we'll be going over the Ryzen 5 5600X. This will be going in X570 Aorus Elites. And of course for GPUs, we have the RTX 3060. This is an EVGA card, so should look pretty nice in this. We're going for kind of a black and white theme. So we got some black and white cables over here as well. And then for case, we have the Bitfinex NovaMesh SE. We did a video on this, oh God, it was last year sometime, about the updates on this case. This one, really nice, has four included ARGB fans as well as a fan hub and controller. So I feel like that would be pretty easy for a new builder to build in today. So that we'll be putting to the test for sure. All right, man, you ready to dive in? We'll get up close and start going over how this goes together.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's get in close and we'll get this thing started. All right, everyone, so we're back up close here. Got all the parts stacked up that need to go on the motherboard first. Blake, do you know what all these parts are?
Yeah.
All right, name them off real quick.
You got the motherboard, processor, you got the RAM, and the storage.
Cool. You do learn something.
Well, I mean, I've watched you build stuff for years, so.
Well, like I said, I wanted to let you test putting your own together today to see if you've been a good study. So let's go ahead and get the motherboard out of the box here.
Out of the box. Let me see. Why'd you turn? Okay, that works.
Just remove it from its little plastic sheathing there.
Plastic sheathing.
Gently.
Gently. If I can get it out, what out?
Oh, don't hold it by the bag. What are you doing? Oh, there you go. Now we can slip it out of the bag. Good. You know to leave the motherboard on top of the box. Because we're building on top of the box first.
Yeah, because I've watched you do it plenty of times.
Like I said, I am here for moral support today. Of course, I'm going to guide you through it. But yeah, I want to see how much we can get down on our own. So first things first, we have to get a CPU inside.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in this box here. What I want you to do before you rip the CPU out, we need to open the retention bracket.
Yeah. You just pull it out like normal.
It's going to go towards you and then up.
So towards up.
Oop. And just kind of leave it up like that.
Stay.
There you go. If we look right here, so for Ryzen processors, there's a corner here. See a little gold corner on the tab there.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a corner. This has got some goop on it. But there's going to be a corner here that's going to line up with. So basically, their Ryzen lettering
yeah,
is going to go towards the top of the socket here.
Towards the top of the socket.
So when you bring it out, you'll twist it this way, straight in. Next thing we're going to do is work on the storage. Or excuse me, we'll do the RAM first. We'll go and open this RAM. Like I said, this video is brought to you by TeamGroup. They did sponsor this build today for us. So they're going to be providing the storage and the RAM for this. This is a 32 gig kit. So it's two 16 gig sticks. So we'll go ahead and get that open.
Nice and slow.
Nice. Any on the other side here? No. Okay, it's just a mirrored side there. All right.
It's actually a mirror. That's actually really cool.
So as far as installing the RAM goes, just to give you a little rundown, I believe you remember this probably from me installing yours.
Yeah.
But when you have two sticks like this, these are going to run in dual channel. So DIMM slots that have 4 slots like this have dual channel setups.
Yeah.
basically an A and a B channel. If you're only, and it actually this one says it on the motherboard itself, if you're only occupying the 2 channels, you're going to use A2 and B2 here. So basically the 2nd and the 4th channel. So obviously if you're running all 4, you populate all 4 DIMMs. These are just 2 sticks here. So you're going to need the 2nd one and the 4th one. You want to apply even force on each side there until you hear a satisfying click. This always scares newer builders because they think they're going to break something. RAM takes a good bit here. I'll show you the first one. You can do the second one.
I'll let you go.
So as long as it's lined up correctly, you just snap it in.
There we go.
The clips will come up and latch in, won't go anywhere. And I'll do the second one. Since we're using M.2 in this setup today, so this one actually, another one from TeamGroup T-Force here. So this one is a Pcie Gen4. This is a Pcie Gen4 compatible setup since we have a Ryzen 5 5600X in here, meaning we can take advantage of slightly faster speeds that Pcie Gen4 can offer. So with these, we're going to get faster read-write speeds. This one in particular is actually rated for writes up to 7,000 megabits per second and reads up to 6,900 megabytes per second. So blazing fast compared to Gen 3. Of course, Gen 3 is still enough for most gaming drives and everything these days. Gen 4 definitely comes in handy for as far as doing productivity work, things like that, where you need fast read-write.
Wouldn't mind. Yeah. Gen 3 would be the old SSD you have in my system, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like yours has a PCIe Gen 3 M.2. That's still plenty fine for gaming.
Yeah.
Like I said, these definitely come in handy for any intensive task where you're going to be reading and writing to that disk a lot. I don't really notice any load time differences using Gen 4 versus Gen 3 in games, but if you're accessing the drive constantly, it does help.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to go and get this installed today. So this one's actually going to go in the top slot. So what I want you to do is grab that little blue bag over there.
Little blue bag, all right.
We'll need some screwdrivers out of it. So we've fixed the heatsink to the M.2. Now we're ready to install. Goes in the top M.2 slot here, but of course there's a screw in the way. So we got to get rid of that first.
Let's get rid of this so we can actually install it to the motherboard.
So we got the M.2 drive installed now, and that's pretty much for all the parts that we can actually put on the motherboard. So let's clean up a little bit, and then we'll get the case out and start working from there. Basically now we're going to start installing it into the case. As I said in the intro, we're working with the Bitfinex NovaMesh SC, really awesome mid-tower ATX case, if I can speak today. But so this one I felt like would be pretty easy for a beginner builder to build in. Pretty typical power supply basement. Really easy ATX loadout we have going on here, and 4 included fans that are going to be pretty easy to cable manage and wire, I think. But like we'll see when we get to that point. Probably montage that or something. Yeah. Teaching you the fine arts of cable management.
The fine arts of cable management, aka nightmare.
The fine arts of stuffing it in the power supply basement. But we've done all the work we can on this. We've got to start putting it in the case now. So we'll go ahead and get to that.
Cool.
So we move the fan cable out of the way, but actually what might make it a little easier, and we'll go in the order of steps. So we can actually go ahead and install the cooler if you'd like. I'll give you a little something more to hold on to, because once we get it installed there, you can kind of hold on to the pump block and it'll help you kind of lower it down into place if we want to go and install that now.
But yeah, reach on.
Filling up for the challenge?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. So we'll go and open this guy up. This is the Castle 240EX ARGB edition from Deepcool we'll be using today. So let's go ahead and get that guy opened up. So we've went ahead and pulled out all of the mounting hardware that we're going to need to get this guy set up on the case and on the motherboard itself. So I'll be going over these parts with him as I go along with you guys. But first, this guy does use the default AM4 backplate, but the stock clip brackets are on here now. So I actually need to take these off first to expose the 4-post for the mounting bracket. So you want to go ahead and take these 4 screws out for me. The reason those are going in with the finer threads up is we actually use these little nuts here to lock the cooler in place once we have the mounting brackets on the pump block itself. So that'll be the next thing we do, is actually get the pump block out, because we actually need to mount these guys to the pump block. Now we can go ahead and install the fans on it. This is going to be sitting at the top of our NovaMesh case here, so we're mounting it up here as exhaust. So we're going to need to mount the fans in exhaust orientation. So let's go and pull out the fans here. I believe they're still cable tied together No? Okay, all right, cool. So go ahead and slide those out, and then I'll show you how we'll get them mounted onto a radiator. So now we got both the fans out. So with these, we do have some shock pads on both sides. So this could be mounted as intake or exhaust. So basically the easiest way to tell which side's gonna be intake and exhaust with fans is whatever side, the back shroud here where the motor is, here, this is where the air is gonna be pushing through. So basically, it'll be coming through the wider blade side here, and the back side with the shroud, that's gonna be where the air is exiting. So if we wanted to set this up as exhaust, how would we do it?
Oh, exhaust. Oh,
Yeah, because we need to mount it to the radiator to the point where it's exhausting out the top here.
Mounted. You mounted this way, correct?
Well, we want it, yeah, basically we want it facing to the point where if this is sitting at the top of our case, we're gonna mount the fans where they'll be in view. So it's gonna be pulling air or pushing air through the radiator out of the top of the case. So basically we want this side facing the radiator, where it'll push air out. All right, so got the AO mounted. I believe we can go back to tripod and I can help him get this in the case. So now that we have the pump block mounted, everything looks pretty good. Got the fans mounted to the radiator on the AO at the top. We can go and start sliding it into the case. All right, due to extreme oversight on my parts, this is a good teachable lesson to my little brother here on definitely make sure to reality check your parts before you buy them. As you can see, we have a new case. This is the BitPhoenix Dawn TG. The Nova Mesh is an awesome case. Only problem is with the RAM height that we have on this TeamGroup RAM, we didn't have enough clearance with the AO going up at the top. So we swapped to the Dawn TG, a little bit larger case here. Should be easier for them to build in, and we'll go over the features of this case if you guys want to check this out. This is actually one of the first videos we did on the channel, if you guys want to go see that. But we'll go ahead and reinstall the RAM. I'll let him finish installing the AO pump block, or the radiator back to the top of the case, and then we'll work on installing the power supply cables, and then getting the actual power supply in place, and then we're pretty much in the home stretch, so ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let's go and get the RAM back in. So now that we have that installed, and flip it around here where everybody can see. Like I said, I think the next thing we'll attack is getting the sleeved extensions plumbed where they need to be, and then we'll start working on the back side and get the power supply installed. So let's go ahead and pull these out. And go ahead and bring this little cable guide up, because we're going to route it back through here where we're actually going to plug it into the power supply. So bring that up and back out, which honestly putting cable extensions up here where they're not super visible isn't, you know, a make or break. I mean, you can kind of see it in this case, but for most people, having your 24-pin ATX cable as your kind of decorative cables, if you're doing cable extensions, and your PCIe extension cables for your graphics card are going to be the biggest two, because most of the time you can't really see up in this corner anyway. No. Even looking dead on the build, even with it lit up, you know, it's there, but it's not going to be super visible. But we got them clipped in, so let's go ahead and move on, and we'll start getting the power supply installed. So we can set that down. So you can see this is fully modular. I don't believe we put a fully modular in yours. So basically with these, you only need to plug in the cables that you're going to be using. So today we'll need the 24-pin motherboard cable, one for the CPU, 8-pin power, and then we have a rail here for the graphics card.
Of course, fan is already down, so that's good.
Yeah, the fan's gonna face down because this case has a filter on the bottom.
Is it like the case that I have?
Very similar, yeah. Yours has a similar power supply basement. It's kind of become the standard these days.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna come around here. You can stay over there. I'll grab these 4 screws for you.
All right.
All right, so we decided to go for an aesthetics change here. We went with the purple sleeve carbon here. So Blake connected that one up for us. I'm gonna tuck everything back like we had it before. Now the next thing we're gonna work on before we install the graphics card, we're gonna finish this up here after we get the GPU in. We need to work on the front panel connectors. So we're gonna flip these back around here. So we will do fans and everything last. Then you get to do the exciting part of this, which is, of any gaming PC, is putting in the GPU. So let's go ahead and come around to this side here. All right, so after a bit of finagling, we got the front panel connectors all wired up here, and those are ready to go now. So for the GPU, we're going with the 3060 here from EVGA. This is their XE3. It's kind of a little mini 3060 card. Gonna be really solid for this build. Go ahead and get this guy open. So if you want to go ahead and do the honors opening that guy up. So now we have the card unboxed. Only a little bit of prep we got to do. This case, since I've used it before, I've actually had to remove the back PCIe slots here. The screws are still in place, so we have to take those out. But the first thing you want to do is make sure that your catch for the PCI expansion is open on the motherboard. So click that little black tab there on that top PCIe slot. Yeah, that's where we're going to put it in. There it is, open. All right, now we need to take out the 2 screws that line up with that top PCIe slot. So go and take those out. Cool, so those are out. This is a dual slot card, meaning it's gonna take 2 slots up completely. So now we need to get ready to mount it in.
There we go.
All right, so now we can actually start running power to it, because this one does need supplemental power. This one just runs off an 8-pin supplemental power here. So we need to go ahead and plug this guy into the front, and then we'll talk about snake it into the back. And once we plug it into the power, or plug it into the power supply, we'll actually start working on the cable management next. All right, so after a little bit of hassle with cable management, we got everything wrapped up with a bow here. I think we got it looking pretty neat. Now let's just see if his hard work's going to pay off. So if you want to go and do the honors, hit the power button.
All right, let's do it. Okay, I'm hearing noises.
I see fans spinning.
All right.
You stay over there, I'll take a look.
Alrighty.
Looks like we have every fan moving, and we have RGB.
Sweet.
Alrighty, so we're getting all the fans in motion here. Looks like it's defaulting to the default color there. I may still have to hook up that controller for the case itself, because this Dawn TG does have lighting around the front and back panel here, so I need to go back and reconnect that. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Go around and take a look.
All right, yeah. You can take a look at what I built. Oh, wow. I believe it actually turned out pretty well.
Yeah, now that we have a case that fits the AO properly, I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We'll come back around here. I'll go and grab the camera. We'll get these guys some close-ups. If you want to come back around on this side.
All right.
Both can't fit on that side too easy. So, as you can see, we've got a little bit of mismatch on here. We need to go through and program some of the RGB stuff after we get everything set up. I might do a follow-up video on how to set up Windows for the first time. We'll probably go with the Windows 11 install on this one, since we haven't done that on the channel yet. Well, like I said, changes to a matching theme soon, since we went with the carbon and purple. Looks like we do need to flip the Deep Cool logo in here, and we do have another peel to do, it looks like. There's still a plastic piece left on this. So come around, I'll let you do the peel.
A little plastic piece on the actual cooler.
Yeah, just go and grab that guy. Beautiful. All right, and what's cool with these Deep Cool coolers, you can actually grab the pump block and open it. Since it's not technically in the correct orientation, we can pull this out and flip it to the correct orientation. And snap it back in like so. Return the cap back here. And now the logo with the little infinity mirror is oriented correctly.
All right.
So again, what do you think overall?
Overall, it actually came out pretty well, and it looks really solid.
We'll get back on that side, and we'll run the parts down for everybody one more time, see if you remember everything.
See if I remember everything.
Motherboard will be put in.
What did we put in? I know you did put up an ORS 570.
Yeah, it's an X570 Aorus Elite. What processor?
Ooh. Oh, it's a Ryzen 5 processor, but I don't remember exactly what.
It's the 5600X.
5600X.
5600X on that one. So, what about graphics card?
Graphics card, of course I know that. It is the EVG RTX 3060.
Yeah, it's the XC model. So, again, this is in the Dawn TG case. Like I said, I think for his first build, putting himself together, he did a pretty good job. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. And the cool thing with this is you get to take it home.
Wait, what? Wait, so are you serious?
You built it, you get to take it home.
Okay. Cool.
You didn't see that coming at all, huh?
No.
You'll get to tune the RGB to how you want it. Of course, big thanks to TeamGroup for sending out the RAM and the SSD. So this is going to be an awesome 1080p and 1440p gaming setup.
Oh, definitely.
No,
It's an upgrade. It will be an upgrade from my already existing computer. Of course, there's nothing wrong with the existing computer. It is just old.
But so I want you to hang out right there because we do have one more thing. So just stand right there. I'll be right back.
Cool. All right.
Can't game at 1080 or 1440p without
What?
a monitor to game on.
Holy cow.
So I picked you up. This one's from AOC. It's their G-Line edition. So adaptive sync. It's 144 hertz refresh, 1 millisecond response time, 1500R curve. So it is a curved 27-inch 1440p display.
Oh my god.
Because your last monitor is not going to cut it for what the system can put out.
And that last monitor actually does have a few dead pixels too.
You told me you killed those a little bit.
Huh?
You told me you killed them a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I was cleaning my desk off and I accidentally knocked into it. Of course, that monitor, it was a cheap $160 monitor from Best Buy that we bought, what, 6 years ago?
I don't know. You were like, what, 13?
And I'm going at 19.
12, 13?
I was like 12, 13, first ever desktop. And I'm almost 19. So,
Well, again, Merry Christmas.
thank you.
Now you can successfully say you built your own PC.
Yeah, really, I can.
And you built your own PC.
Yeah,
It's yours. You get to keep it.
I'm happy with that.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the build today. We're going to wrap this up. Like I said, I'll have all the parts listed down below if you guys want to check out what we use in this build today. Again, thank you, TeamGroup, for sending this one over. I appreciate you guys for hooking us up with the RAM and the storage to get this finished for his Christmas present and as a learning experience for a brand new builder. If you guys have any more comments you can leave for brand new builders in the comments down below, I'd definitely appreciate that. There's never enough good advice out there. This is definitely a hobby that I've really enjoyed, and I enjoy teaching it to other people and letting them see the joy of PC gaming as well. So yeah, guys, we'll have some close-up shots of this one over on our Instagram at Desktops Gaming. If you guys want to go check out some close-ups, we're posting those over there as soon as this video goes live. If you want to see kind of what came of this whole setup. But yeah, anything else you need to say?
I mean, I have nothing else other than really the whole build of the computer came up pretty well, and I'm still surprised the fact that this is mine.
Yeah,
So-
you look so shocked.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for the day. We're going to get this set up for him. We can start gaming sooner rather than later. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Take it easy.